Today, our learning target is I can solve multi-step equations. The criteria for success, step one, I'll use the distributive property to eliminate the parentheses on one or both sides of the equation. That is only if necessary. If there are no parentheses, we'll jump to step two and we'll combine like terms on both sides, if there are, on both sides. That is if necessary as well. And then step three, go ahead and isolate the variable on one side of the equation using inverse operations. If you see add, you'll subtract. You see subtract, you add. Multiply, divide, divide, multiply. Let's jump in and try some. After we talk about our very important concept. The very important concept today is you'll want to get the variable positive and by itself on one side of the equal sign. Basically what we're doing is isolating the variable, getting it all alone in a positive instance. So here we go. Example 1. 2m plus 5 plus 4m plus 3 equals 38. That's long and nasty. We need to actually get the m all by itself. So the first thing we do is we look, do we have any similar, not similar figures?
Like terms.
Like terms, thank you. Do we have any like terms? We have a 2m and a 4m. So 2m plus 4m we can put together, and that would give us 6m. We also have up here a 5 and a 3 that don't have any variables with them. So the 5 plus 3 would give us 8. And we can't do anything with the other side of the equation, so we just leave it as equals 38. Now, that's a two-step equation that you guys solved yesterday or the day before, so now we just go through our steps. First step, we either add or subtract. So the first thing we get rid of is the 8 from both sides. And that leaves us with, over here, 6m and 30. Now, we get to get the m by itself. We get rid of multiplying by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6, and you're left with m equals 5. So you answered m equals 5. Well, let's make sure it's right. Let's go plug it back into our equation up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug 5 in for m. So over here I'm going to put 2 times 5 plus 5 plus 4 times 5 plus 3 equals 38. So all I did was put whatever m is that I got into the equation, which was 5. So now I see if it equals. That'd be 10 plus 5 plus 20 plus 3. I hope that equals 38. So we'll see. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 20 is 35, plus 3 is 38. And that is what I want. So I'm right. If those didn't equal each other, that was wrong. I need to go back and fix something. Alright, example 2. 4 times the quantity c plus 3 equals 40. So we think about our steps. Step 1, get rid of those parentheses. So let's get rid of those parentheses using our distributive property. And we're going to go 4 times c plus 4 times 3, which I'm going to go ahead and put as 12. Equals 40. Two-step equation. We've done that before. First step, get rid of adding 12 by subtracting 12 from both sides. When you subtract 12 from both sides, that cancels out to 0. This leaves you over here with 4c equals, what is that, 28? 40 minus 12. Now I want to get rid of the 4 because I get the c by itself. Isolate the c. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. That leaves me with c equal to 7. Alright, let's see if that's right. Let's plug the 7 back in for c and see if that makes sense. So 4 times 7 plus 3 has to equal 40. Order of operations. 4, and that's 10, equals 40. Well, 4 times 10 is 40. Alright. 40 equals 40. And one more example. 2 times the quantity x minus 5 plus 3 equals 19. So we do have parentheses, so the first thing we have to do is get rid of those parentheses using our distributive property. So we're going to distribute out 2 times x minus 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 3 equals 19. Distributing out to the parentheses. Step 2, do I have any like terms that I can combine? Well, I don't have any x's, so I'm going to leave my 2x. Now I've got a minus 10 plus 3. Minus 10 plus 3, we're going to change this to add the opposite. Because it's a minus, we're going to say it's plus a negative 10. And that helps us because now we know that negative 10 plus 3, well, negative 10 plus 3 leaves us with negative 7, which we're going to write as minus 7. That equals 19. Now we have a two-step equation, which you all know how to do, so we can go through this pretty quick. We can add 7 to both sides. 7's cancel out. We're left with 2x equals, what's that, 26? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. X should equal 13. Okay, time to check and see if we're right. So we take x, plug it back in. 2, 13 minus 5 plus 3 has to equal 19. So order of operations, we do parentheses first. 2 times, that's 8, plus 3 equals 19. Multiply, 16 plus 3 equals 19, and that is 19 equals 19. Very good. To review, the learning target, I can solve multi-step equations. The criteria for success, 3 steps. I'll use distributive property to eliminate the parentheses on one or both sides of the equation, if necessary. If not, or after you do that, step 2, I'll combine like terms on both sides of the equation, if necessary as well. And then step 3, I'll isolate the variable on one side of the equation using inverse operations. Basically, you have a 2-step equation here, and that's simple to solve. So, here are your 3 to work on tonight, and bring them to class tomorrow.